is a group of closely related organisms that can interbreed among themselves, and produce fertile offspring. Closely related organism that can interbreed among themselves and produce fertile offsprings. Okay, so let's take an example. Panthera tigris. Okay, we did discuss about the two parts which is taken when we are learning nomenclature. So Panthera was genera, that would be the genus, and Tigris would be the species. So all the tigers, okay, all the tigers, so rather than saying similar characteristic, they have same characteristics. So members of the species Tigris, which are tigers, they all have the same characteristics. Okay, now let's take Homo sapiens. This is a species, a group of species. That's all human beings. All human beings. This would be the gender, this would be the species. Now, tigers, the members of tigers, the male and the female, can interbreed and produce offsprings. Okay, and in case of sapien species, the members which are human beings, male or female, they are interbreeding and producing offspring. Okay, but these two are different species. Okay, obviously these two can't interbreed among themselves. Okay, only the members of the same species have the capacity of interbreeding. So if I define species once again, it is a group of closely related organisms that can reproduce offspring by interbreeding. Okay, so you can understand this is a completely different species, this is a completely different species. Okay, so that was species. Because you need to understand the basic or the first definition of species, then the other things would be more easier to understand. Like if now we discuss genus. Genus are a group of organisms or which they are basically closely related species. Closely related species. For example, we have Panthera tigris, we have Panthera pardus. Okay, so you can see clearly they are different species, but on the basis of some similar characteristics, they belong to the same genera. They belong to the same genera. Closely related species, they are different, but because of some similar characteristic, they belong to the same group, same genus, which is known as Panthera. So easy definition: genus, group of organisms, or in short, closely related species. So we completed species and genus. We'll get into family. So family, if you have understood genus, it would be easier. It would be closely related animals of genus. So basically closely related genus. So if I take genera Panthera tigris, and let's take Felis catus, that is scientific name of cat, and this is scientific name of tiger. Okay, so they both belongs to same family, Felidae. We always say, right, domestic cat, tiger, leopard, they are all cat family. This is the name of the cat family, Felidae. So if you see, they are of different genus, they are of different species, but again, due to some characteristics, similar characteristic, they belong to one family, Felidae. Family, closely related genus. Okay. If you observe certain characteristics of a domestic cat and a tiger, there are some similar characteristics. There some structures, there's some behavior. Okay. On the basis of that, they have been grouped into one family. Okay. So now let's see the next hierarchy level, that is order. It would be closely related members of family. We have a cat family, Felidae, and another family, dog family, that is Canidae. So just imagine, now you see, as we're going up, the similarities are decreasing. The diversity of the group, the members of a particular category is increasing. Okay, diversity I'm talking about, difference. So this is cat family and this is dog family. They belong to a particular order called as carnivora. That is meat eating animals, carnivora. I'll just write it properly. Carnivora. Okay, so closely related family, Felidae, Canidae, because of their similar diet behavior, similar food source, they are belong to one order. So we have done with order. Now we'll go into class. Class, closely related members of order. The order which we discussed was carnivora, right? So let's take another example of order, herbivore. Okay. They belong to some members of carnivora, some members of herbivora can be categorized into a same class known as mammals. Okay, if I take carnivora like cat, and herbivore if I take cow, okay, they all belong to same class, mammals, because of again certain similar characteristics. So all the classes, various examples of class, various examples of orders, they have basics of characteristics on which they are grouped. The organisms or the animals are grouped. Okay? I hope this is clear. So you're seeing slowly many smaller groups are coming together and becoming a bigger part of a bigger group. Okay, we started with Panthera tigris, then Panthera pardus, then they coming into different bigger categories. Okay, now we have done with class. Now class Mammalia. Basically it's at class Mammalia. They belong to a phylum called as Chordata. Okay, like mammals, if I take the examples which I gave was cow and cat. Okay, they both are mammals. They all belong to the same phylum, Chordata. Chordata is presence of a hollow dorsal nerve cord on the back side, that is a presence of notochord on the dorsal side. That is the characteristics of the phylum Chordata. So even cow shows it and even cat shows that characteristics. That is why they belong to the same phylum Chordata. Now you all can understand what would be the kingdom. So out of all the examples we have discussed, all belong to the category or the kingdom known as animal kingdom. Okay, we did discuss about tiger, lion, cat. Okay, then we discussed about various uh, this animals also, cows, cats, carnivora, herbivora, all coming and becoming a group or becoming a member of a bigger category, bigger taxon, that is animal kingdom, or we say it in biological term, kingdom animalia. So that is how the taxonomic hierarchy level is done. I hope it is clear. So in this topic, you will have to explain various taxons or various categories with the help of examples. Okay, so if you want, you can see the video once again and you can jot down all the examples which I had shown you, that how some members are becoming the member of a bigger category. Okay, so that was taxonomical hierarchy. So the last topic of the chapter, that is taxonomical aids. Okay, so we just discussed about different categories, different taxons, taxonomy hierarchy. Now we need help of various mechanisms to study these characters, study these taxon in a more detailed manner and in an easier way. Okay, like if we want to know more about a specimen, we will have to handle or study the specimen in the laboratory, or basically we'll have to have our own observation and study regarding it, study about it. So we need to have these collections of these specimens so that we can have more detailed study about it. Some specimens are even preserved for future studies as well. So we have many helps or mechanisms where we can use for taxonomical study. Such help is known as aids. Okay, so taxonomical aids, where different specimens are collected, preserved for the study purpose. Okay, so the first taxonomical aid is herbarium. Okay, herbarium is a place or is a storehouse, if I say. It's a storehouse where different species of plants, plant specimens are stored. Okay, the mechanism, or we wait the herbarium is actually filled with different plant specimens on herbarium sheets. Now what are these herbarium sheets? These sheets consist of a plant specimen that has been collected from a particular area or a particular place. It has been pressed, it has been collected, pressed and preserved in those sheet, and that sheet which has that plant specimen with all the details, that when it was collected, what is this plant, which family it belongs, what is the species, all relevant information will be provided in the corner of the herbarium sheet as well. In the presentation, I will be showing you how a herbarium sheet looks like. Okay,